Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of Tome Talk with Mr. Silva, the Serendipitous Sensei. And today we are going to go a little bit deeper into upper level thinking. And so it's going to be a little bit more about those last levels and how you really get the most out of your practice time. But first, I don't know, did you guys hear about the circus that caught on fire? It was intense. There's only one way to go above those minimum class standards that we set, and that is to use your upper level thinking. And so the two words we're going to be focusing on today are the analyzing and the evaluating. So to analyze something, you are going to ask, how did it go is basically the question, okay? How did it sound? How did it go? So you can be real specific. How did I start my note? How did I end my note? What happened in the middle of my note? How did it go? Was I with the metronome? Was I playing the right note? There's a whole list of questions that you can ask yourself after you play something. Okay, so those are the kind of things that you do for analyzing. You ask yourself those questions about how it went. Now, sometimes those will have a positive answer. How did I start my note? Man, I did a great job this time. Okay, and then sometimes it'll be a negative answer, like, oh, that note start just, kind of did that for me this time. Okay, so it's not always a negative thing. Sometimes when you ask those questions, it's a really positive answer. Sometimes it's, I've got to keep working on it. So don't be afraid to ask those questions, and don't be afraid to have positive answers as well. Okay, so it's how did it go? How did I start my note? How did I end my note? Okay, was I with the metronome? Did I do the right rhythms in that song? All those questions, okay? So there's a never-ending list of questions you can ask about music, okay? So that's analyzing. The next step is evaluating, okay? When you evaluate, then you ask the question, why? Okay, so how did it go is analyze, and then evaluate is why. Why did that happen? So if you liked the start to your note, well, because I had my embouchure set, I breathed in the right way. If you play percussion, you had your hands set the right way, and you did your upstroke correctly. Okay, all those little details that you learn. If it went well, you probably did all those things correctly, but you need to ask why it went well so that you can do it again the next time. Sometimes you'll have a negative answer. No, it didn't go too well. I didn't have a really good start to my note. So why didn't you have a good start to your note? Okay, and then you got to kind of follow like a flow chart in your mind. Okay, so was the note good? Yes, no, right? And so if the answer is no, then why? Okay, well, was it your embouchure? Okay, if it was your embouchure, then you go to the other side of the flow chart, like, okay, make sure that you're set before you start your note. Or maybe you just need to make an adjustment to it in general. Maybe your, teeth are too far, in or out, or your lips are doing weird stuff, so you got to kind of follow those flow chart type questions. But why did something go well, or why did something not go so well? That's the evaluation part. Okay, so just to review real quick, for the last lesson, we had that memorizing where you just kind of like, this is a D, so now I'm going to play D. And then you have the next level where you understand what a D is. It's pushing down these buttons, okay? And then the next question or the next thing to do is apply it. And so you play that D. And so those are level 1, 2, and 3. And then you get to the analyze. That's level 4, where you say, how did it go? And then level 5 is, why did it go that way? Why did that happen? Okay, now, then the last one is level 6. That's where you perform your note and you answer all those questions and you make your changes and then you perform the best that you can do. Okay, athletes do this all the time. They watch the videos of themselves. Golfers will set up a high-speed camera and, watch every little part of their swing and what was their head doing and what were their hands doing and, how far back did they go, and they analyze every little thing. People who build things like engineers, design, they go over it and over it and over it and over it, and they build models and, okay, well, why did that happen? And so if you want to be good at anything, these are the steps you want to use, not just band, but it certainly works really, really well for learning how to play an instrument. All right, so that is the end of our Tome Talk for this session of upper level thinking. I hope you guys are enjoying these, and I want you guys to have a really great day. So go home and practice and train, but don't leave out your brain. Use the brain when you practice and train. That's a good little rhyme there. I just made that up right now. All right, you guys have a great day, and see you next time on Tome Talk.